Today I'm very excited to introduce you to Tori McCann, who's from Worcester in the UK. Tori's a marketing professional, but she also has a very cool side hustle in dancing and fitness. Tori runs bar classes online while juggling a full-time marketing job. She's one to watch. Enjoy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Self-Maker Show. This is your host, ConorLyn.ch. Hi, Tori. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you, Conor. How are you?
Great, thank you. Listen, thanks a million for agreeing to chat. So you're based in the UK. You're working from home. Do you want to tell us about your background?
Yeah, so I'm Tori. I am 24. I live in a small town or a small city just outside of Birmingham called Worcester. And I'll go straight into it about sort of what I do. Growing up, I always danced from a really young age. Dance was always a big part of my life. And then as I got older, it sort of stayed part of my life. It was something that I did outside of any studies or any job I had. I always kept up dancing. Really good for fitness and mental health as well. So from like 3 to 18, I danced, went to uni, still danced on the side, and then graduated uni, which was in a bigger city, and then came back home to my sort of smaller city where I live and found there wasn't lots of opportunities for adult dance. There's loads of sort of really brilliant dance schools for people up to the age of 18. Then if you go to a big city, there's loads to do for adults. But if you're in sort of a smaller city, there's bits and pieces, but there's not loads. And that's when I discovered Barre, which is a ballet inspired workout that combines elements of dance, yoga and Pilates with like other fitness moves for like a full body workout, but that is really dance inspired. So you can use everything you've learned from dancing growing up, but in a workout that's like just a fun, low, sort of no commitment class that keeps you fit and healthy. And in my local area, there are a few bar classes. In my gym in particular, there was only one bar class, and because of its popularity, it was always fully booked. So sort of thinking more like selfishly than anything else, like, oh, I want to be able to do bar more often. If I qualified as an instructor, I'll be able to do the class. And there's obviously a bit of demand for it. And I was never really thinking about the business side of things. It was more the just being able to do it. I didn't think I'd make much money from it. Maybe a bit of extra spending money, but nothing major. So I started the qualification to become a bar fitness instructor, and I sort of put it on the back burner. It was all online. You could do it in your own time, and I didn't really give it the dedication it needed. Then we went into lockdown, and I had nothing else to do. I had no excuse anymore. So I went for it, and I did it. Then during the lockdown, so I qualified because it's all online. I could still qualify during lockdown. Qualified and started teaching online classes via Zoom. I originally started teaching for free. This was in the lockdown when everyone was at home, but word of mouth sort of spread about the classes. Things got out there. I used my sort of digital marketing knowledge to promote the business a little bit more. Came up with a brand name, came up with a bit of sort of a brand identity, pushed it a bit further, kept sort of growing it, and then started charging for the classes. And now we're sort of where we are a year later, still going, still loving it, with lots of dedicated sort of members and people that do the classes every week. So yeah, really happy with it. And it all kind of happened by accident in the best kind of way, which I love.
That's brilliant. No, that's a great story. So we'll talk about the dancing more in a minute and how you're developing that side hustle, as I would describe it. But also you're working in marketing. So maybe tell us about your studies and early career in marketing.
Yeah, so as I said, I'm 24, so I graduated, well, I'd say really lucky to graduate in 2019 because I don't know if I'd want to be a graduate in 2020. Well, it's just that little bit tougher, isn't it? So yeah, really lucky to graduate 2019 with a degree in marketing. I did a placement year, so that gave me a little bit of extra experience and enabled me to get my first job in sports and events marketing. So I work for the Jockey Club, I'll name them, the Jockey Club. So like Cheltenham Racecourse, Aintree Racecourse, Epsom Racecourse, and then lots of other racecourses around England. I got a job doing digital marketing for them as soon as I finished uni, which was brilliant. Had an absolutely great time, but then March 2020 came around and we all got furloughed, completely understandably. So just put a pause on everything for a minute, which it was fine at the time. I was really lucky, sort of COVID wise, touch wood, none of my family were affected. It was just a case of being locked down and a bit bored. So the best possible outcome from like a really awful situation. We like did okay out of it. But yeah, so got furloughed and then had all this free time on my hands to start this up. And then December 2020, I went back to work full time. And I think because of the timings of everything, I was able to do lots of the groundwork that I needed for my bar business to get things up and running. And now I'm at the stage where I can just fit things in the evenings, in the mornings, and at lunchtimes to work it around my job.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So I think you're right. There is that setup, planning, setting up, getting started. There's quite a bit of work involved in that. And if you have the time to do that in between jobs, I think or when you were quiet, it certainly helped. Maybe tell us about the branding and the website, which all looks really, really great. So tell us how you went about that, and did you do it yourself, or did you work with some freelancers, or what happened?
Thank you. So if you sort of see my website and everything this time last year, you'd not be saying the same thing. It was like just having a go, really. I got a Canva account, which is great fun, but you can make a lot of rubbish with it, which I definitely did at the start. I think I always knew in my head I wanted the branding to be pink, which I just sort of went with. And that's probably the only thing that stuck the whole time, really, the pink branding. Yeah. I've changed sort of the logo as I've gone through and sort of slowly developed things over time. So it's always sort of stayed consistent, but definitely evolved from when I first began starting out. But yeah, just having that time and the freedom to just play around with it, because it's when you're sort of working for yourself, you want to get up and do it. So like on a Sunday morning, I'll be sat in my pajamas playing around making logos on Canva and just really, really enjoying it. And it's that sort of fun feeling. So yeah, really enjoyed that side of things. But definitely freelancers have helped me so much. I use the site Upwork and work with a chap in, I think he's based in Pakistan, and he literally does all of my website for me. And it's got to the point now, we've got such a good relationship that he'll message me and say, you need to upgrade this on your website. And I just say, okay, how much is it going to cost? You do it. And then he does it for me, which is just brilliant. Because before that, I was just sort of watching YouTube videos, trying to do it myself, fumble my way through, but it wasn't brilliant. So yeah, definitely if there's sort of people available to you, use them 100%.
Yeah, that's really, really great. You're using those platforms to connect with somebody in Pakistan. It's brilliant. And is the website using WordPress or something like that?
Yeah, it's WordPress. Yeah. And then I came across this sort of booking software, which is brilliant to enable people that do my classes to book onto that book their spaces for the classes, and it reduces the admin for me massively. I don't get involved with sending out Zoom links or anything like that. It all goes automatically to them once they book on, and then that bit of software sits perfectly within my website, and it all kind of, I don't know, melts in. Is that the word you say? It's embedded. And it just sits perfectly. So that works really well, and it takes a lot of the admin away from me, which has been great.
Excellent. Well, what's the name of that tool?
Gym Catch. Brilliant.
Gym Catch.
Yeah, any instructors or anything like that, it's a great tool.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's some really, really smart tools now. So you just have to know which
around and know which ones.
Yeah, know which one. Get a recommendation for somebody who's happy, etc. So that's great. And I know with your career, then you specialize in CRM and loyalty. So is there any other tools that you like, whether it's with your professional work or with your business, any other tools that you like to use?
Yeah, so sort of with my professional job, a large part of my role is email marketing.
Yeah.
So when I started my bar business, even when I hardly had any paying customers, I was like, I've got to do email marketing. I just know how effective it is. So right from the start, a priority's been capturing email data, so I can email people. I do sort of, with my bar business, like a fortnightly kind of newsletter. Just if there's like a big thing I'm doing or something cool or something news launched, I'll send an email out to the database about that, which has worked really well, because I'd say my social media is definitely how I've got attracted most of my clients, but I always get a few sort of messages from people saying, oh, I'm deleting the Instagram app, but I still want to get involved. And I just say, oh, join my mailing list, and do it from there. So yeah, I'm also a bit paranoid that like one day social media is just going to stop, or like everyone will just come off Instagram, and I want to be able to still contact my customers. So yeah,
no, that's a smart
emails.
it's a smart move. For decades now, I've always thought, because social networks have changed, whether it's now with Instagram or before in Facebook, and before that, I don't even think you were even born when Bebo was around. But,
I did have Bebo.
Yeah. So Bebo, I was doing social media campaigns for Coca-Cola on Bebo, like a long time ago. Yeah. But I always thought it's a smart move to have your own domain name, your own website, because Bebo could come and go, and it did. And MySpace and all these are all in the social networking cemetery. But if you build up your own domain and your email database, that's a very wise move. So is there any other tools that you recommend for emailing, or for you mentioned Canva as well?
Yeah, so for my emails I use MailChimp, which is great because it's free and sort of relatively easy to use, and there's also lots of like YouTube tutorials around that really help with that. But then my main one that I sort of say to absolutely anyone is Canva. It's just got so many different uses. All of my Instagram content, or anything with words and sort of graphics, is all done on Canva. I use it to make email blocks, all sorts of different things you can do on there. It's just brilliant, and it's free.
Great.
Well, you can get the premium version, but large part of it you can get for free.
So are you pretty much self-taught then, when it comes to the content and all these creative posts?
Yeah, definitely. If you scroll back to the start of my Instagram feed, you can see the progression, because it's definitely self-taught. There are lots of different sort of resources out there. I spend a lot of time on TikTok, and they sort of get to know things that you're interested in. So I get targeted a lot with Canva hacks you didn't know. So they're great. Sort of getting ideas from other people. But mainly self-taught and just sort of playing around with it.
Yeah. So maybe tell us about finding clients, and bringing them and starting to work with them. And is there programs that you work through, or one-off classes?
Yeah. So my strategy for a long time has been that I'd spend a certain proportion of the income that I earn on straight back to the business, going on Instagram promotions, because that's where I found I was getting most of my clients, and it was easy to convert them once they'd followed me. So I'd save 2/3 of the income I made from bar, and then really strict with myself. Another third would go largely on promoting this Instagram promotion video that I made. And that was really good for sort of getting new followers. And then once I'd got the new followers, I was posting sort of every day. Reply to this story with a emoji if you want to get involved with my classes. That was really good for conversions, or vote in this poll if you haven't tried a class before. And then I'd just be in their DMs straight away. Every new client gets to try their first class for free. So that was a great way of converting people. And I'm really open with, because my classes are on Zoom, if you hate it, you can just leave. Like, it's a Zoom call. It's not like walking out of the studio. I will never know. If you just hang up, I won't know. I won't really care. It's just it takes that fear element away then. And I think that really sort of helps people, because then even if they just want to watch their first class and not even join in, they can see what it's about. And then give it a go. So that's definitely helped me sort of get new clients, which has been great. Just off the back of that, with sort of the Gym Catch software, they created promo codes, which has been amazing for me because originally every time somebody asked for a free trial, I was having to manually send them a Zoom link. And at one point I was having like 30 people try for free every class. And this is when I was like working full time, sending out these DMs like, here you go. So now they can just use a promo code and get it for free. I just have to trust that people don't abuse that and sort of keep setting up multiple accounts. But I think it's okay. I think it's going all right.
Great. And how do you like the Zoom classes? You must really miss the in-person activities.
Yeah. So like sort of myself, I'd never done any sort of online fitness before lockdown. And it was with the intention originally that I was going to teach in the local gym. That was why I set up and sort of started teaching. And even when I was teaching on Zoom to begin with, it was to drum up interest so that once lockdown was over, I'd sort of have a customer base and I could teach in a local studio. But as time's gone on, my clients are all over the country now. And maybe one day I will teach in the studio, but online will definitely be a priority for me just because of how spread out everyone is. And I think for a lot of people, especially people like mums, sort of busy people that can't get out of the house or they want to fit a workout in their lunch break if they're working from home workouts are just going to sort of stay. I posted on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, home workouts are for life, not just for lockdown. And I think it's true. You know, the gyms are they've got a place, and I love going to dance classes in studios and I always will, but there is just that place. If you want to incorporate exercise into your daily life, being able to do it from home just takes away that barrier of having to get somewhere and leave the house to do it. So
great. So obviously you're designing your own business now with these with lockdowns, and it's very hard because it never happened before. So everyone's got to make it up as they go along. But is there any people that you have looked up to in your career that have inspired you, whether it's in dance or business or personal branding, etc.?
Yeah, lots of different people. There's a couple of bar instructors, particularly in America. Bar seems to be a lot bigger over there. And that I look up to a lot for sort of how they're doing things. And then sort of I read James Smith, the PT's book. Well, I read both of his books. They're both brilliant books, but he wrote a book called Not a Life Coach, and he is a personal trainer and all of his business is done online. He doesn't have any face-to-face clients. So I took a lot of inspiration from sort of his ethos and how he thinks about things. And even though it's like miles apart, differently completely, he is just out of this world. I can still draw on inspiration from him, which has been great.
Is there any books or apps or podcasts that you find useful?
So podcast wise, I really like Holly Tucker's podcast. She's the founder of Not on the High Street, and she interviews entrepreneurs. That's great. And Diary of a CEO, I really like that. With Stephen Barrett, I think his name is. He's great. He interviews quite a lot of interesting people. And Jake Humphrey's podcast is also brilliant. It's really, really inspiring. Books wise, I can't believe I've forgotten the name of it, but it's a book that I recommend to so many people. What is it called? Got it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And it's just got so much great practical advice in there. If you're sort of sat on an idea and you can't get past that hurdle of just wanting to go for it and do it, that book is brilliant. I recommend that to lots of people. But it's also got loads of really just practical day-to-day advice in it as well. One thing that I took from that really, really stands out is making your car a temple of learning. And I really like that. It talks about if you've got a commute every day, like make that your time to listen to audiobooks and podcasts. I'm really lucky now working from home. I don't have much of a commute, but even now I go out and walk the dog every day, headphones in, and using that as time to learn as well as just get some steps in. So that's a great book.
Yeah, that's a super idea. And do you find now that people ask, like friends and family come to you now if they've got an idea and they're looking for a bit of advice? And
I do get that quite a bit, which is funny. I think sort of growing a bit of an online following, people just ask sort of, oh, I want to do this and I've seen you do this, how do I do this? And my one bit of advice for everyone is just go for it. and people always say, oh, I'm worried what people think of me. But I just say, look at the content I was putting out at the start. Looking back at it now, it is probably embarrassing, but I just didn't care. And I think I'm really lucky to have sort of that mindset. And definitely a few years ago, I wouldn't have put myself out there. But now I just think, well, what does it matter what, so-and-so you went to school with thinks of you? Really, really doesn't. You just got to go for it. And I mean, if something fails, what's the worst that can happen? You might lose a little bit of money, maybe, might have wasted a bit of time, but it's definitely in the long run not a waste of time, because you will have learned so much from it and things you can take into whatever it is you do next. So yeah, that's my one bit of advice. Just go for it.
Yeah, that's great. It's inspirational, because you've done so well for somebody so young. But what has been the big change that maybe a couple of years ago you might have been more concerned about what people think, or now you're kind of just go for it?
I don't know. I think maybe just being comfortable where I am and happy, and I've got a really lovely group of friends and great family that are really supportive of sort of whatever I do. And when I do, some of the stuff I do is cringy, like videoing myself on Instagram saying, come and do bar, we all need to work out. Like, it is cringy, and they'll laugh at me, but in a jokey way. And it's always with a really good intention. I think knowing that you've got people behind you that are willing to support you is really helpful. But I also think having the lockdown for me was a little bit of a gift, because it was like, you can make every excuse. I'm always going to be too busy, and there'll always be other things that need doing. But having just that gift of time just thrown on me, like, you have got nothing else to do, you've got to do this now. That was amazing for me. Just being able to sort of get started with it.
No, it's great, but you have, at the same time, you have to be dedicated, and you have to, still do it. So are you very motivated?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, because it's something that it's my little baby that I have to look after. If I don't get up and reply to emails in the morning, or help people if they've had an issue with a class, anything like that, no one's going to do it for me. And I think because the name of the business is my name, and I'm like the main branding of it, it's not faceless. I feel like it's me that's letting people down if I do let people down. And I think I've got it in my head now that I want to grow it. So that's the direction I want to go in. I know how sort of happy it made me when I was bringing bar to loads of people. So that's what I want to keep doing, and just grow it even more.
Brilliant.
So yeah, and it helps that I enjoy it. I think if I was doing a business that I didn't enjoy, it probably would have stopped a long time ago. But I really love bar, and if I wasn't making a business out of it, I'd still be doing it. So that helps.
That's great. Well, you can tell that you really enjoy it, and that comes true. So I look forward to maybe wandering into some of these classes and checking.
Give it a go.
We're kind of going to wrap up shortly, but do you have any plans for the future with bar?
So I'd hopefully just like to be growing Torre Barre as much as possible. Planning to sort of grow my online presence so I can bring bar to more and more people is sort of the big plan, and grow my membership numbers, and just the numbers of people that attend each class would be brilliant. I also want to qualify as a pre and postnatal instructor, because I get quite a few DMs from ladies that are pregnant that want to join the classes, and at the moment I'm just having to turn them away because I'm not insured to teach pregnant ladies. So that would be a good thing to do, I think. And also because of my target market, a lot of people training from home are sort of mums, and they might be having their second babies and things like that. So that would be great. And then sort of longer term, I'd love to maybe bring out my own bar. That's one thing that's hard to get hold of in the UK, that you can get quite a lot in America, but I've got sort of resistance bands, I've got the weights, I've got everything else I need, mats, all sorts. But at the moment I'm still using a chair as my bar, which is crazy. But an at-home bar to use in classes would be brilliant. So I'd love to do that. And then just keep bringing it to as many people as possible, growing it, do different courses, potentially look at becoming a yoga instructor, just to sort of go sort of in a different direction with it. And just keep going, hopefully.
Keep smiling.
Yeah.
Well, it's been Really lovely to talk to you and learn more about yourself, your career, and what you're up to. And I can see you're very passionate about it, and you're delivering a really great product people love. So it's brilliant. And
Thank you.
I really enjoyed our chat. So thank you so
Yeah,
much.
me
Thank you
too.
so
No.
much for your time.
Oh no, thank you for having me. It's been great.
So do you want to tell people about your website, where to go and learn more?
Yeah, so the best place to come and find me would be on Instagram. It's Torre Barre, but it's spelled TORRE_bar, but as in ballet bar, so BARRE. And there's lots of information on there, or you can visit my website, ToriMcCann.com, and join your first class. And if you want to give it a go, everybody's first class is free.
Brilliant. Well, Tori, listen, thank you so much. I know you've got a very busy schedule today, so thank you again, and hopefully talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I hope you enjoyed my chat with Tori. Please subscribe for future episodes and check out selfmakers.com. Bye for now.